Okay, hello everyone, this is TheBattleRifle. Today I'm going to be doing my Ocarina of Time any % tutorial. I'm playing on, I guess I should kind of start, first of all on, like, versions of the game. Now, officially the fastest version is the Japanese Virtual Console, because there's a new route. The new route, this is not the new route, this is the route that's been around since like 2012-ish. Like basically the same route that, it's a route where I get the sword, but, I don't do the Deku Nut RNG route. This is the route where you escape the forest, and yeah. So, let me go across, all different versions of the game. So the fastest version of the game is Japanese Virtual Console. The Japanese version is fastest because Japanese text is very fast. It's a lot faster than English text. So that's the main reason why it's used. Another reason why it's used is because Virtual Console has a faster save warp time. Japanese GameCube is basically the same as Japanese Virtual Console, but GameCube has a really slow save warp. I'm using the PAL GameCube version, so I'm actually using one of the slowest versions of the game to run. I'm playing on PAL GameCube. This route, the reason why I'm doing this route is because this route actually works on every single version of the game, apart from Ocarina of Time 3D and apart from PAL N64. PAL N64 runs at 50 Hz, which is really slow. The frame rate is ridiculously slow, and apparently the rolling distances are different as well. Yeah, so PAL N64 is not recommended, even though you can do this route. The only thing that's different about PAL N64 with this route is Forest Escape and Wrong Warp are different. And I'm gonna go across all the tricks later on. I'm gonna go across every single trick I do, including Gohma Clip, Wrong Warp, Forest Escape, things like that. And the Deku Tree. I'm going based on what route I do. I have a personal best of 25:14 on this version of the game, which I think is a pretty decent time. But, yeah, I do loads of different, I do quite a lot of difficult strats. Even though I skip the Goddess, I also skip, I also still collect the sword. It is possible to do swordless, which is where you don't collect the Kakariko sword, but I don't do that because you'll need to do mido skip, which is, again, a really difficult trick. So, yeah. So, yeah, basically, if you're using USA GameCube, that's also basically the same as this version, PAL GameCube. PAL GameCube is good, it's slow, but you can still do it, and the frame rate's fine. Virtual Console, if you're using, like, USA or PAL Virtual Console runs at the same frame rate as PAL N64, so PAL Virtual Console is not recommended. However, USA Virtual Console is also viable. USA Virtual Console is better than GameCube because Virtual Console you have the fast save warp. Now IQ, which is the Chinese version of the game, is technically for this route the fastest version of the game to use. The new route, where Japanese VC is fastest, is only because the IQ crashes when you do the Deku Nut glitch. But for this route I'm using, IQ is fastest. Okay, so here you spawn. You just wanna, when the text exits, when the text closes, you wanna hold up left and then straight left and then roll, and you'll be out. So yeah, I'm gonna sort of explain the tutorial now. So yeah, you can beat this game insanely fast. The glitches are really interesting. Some of them are somewhat difficult to get the hang of when you first learn the game, but it's really fun once you know how to do it. So basically what I want to do here is flick up on the control stick and Link will face straight forwards, and then you can target and backflip, and you walk backwards. Slide up to the right roughly here, get the rupee, and then backflip up there. Another thing as well, walking backwards is actually faster than walking forwards, which is a weird thing. That's just an Ocarina of Time thing, but yeah, that's a thing in this game. It's only because Link has to turn around, it's only viable to do... Okay, so here... Yeah, 2 side hops to the right. Okay, I missed the rupee there. Yeah, you sort of want to time that correctly. If I didn't miss that rupee there, then just carry on to the chest, and you should make it. Now I'm going to have to wait for the boulder. Yeah, if you're only just learning the game, then like movement around the forest and stuff, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'd worry about like the major tricks. So like now I have to wait for the boulder. But yeah, okay, so you get the sword. You side up all the way to the side here and get this rupee. And then you can go in. As soon as you enter the hole, you can equip the sword and then unpause. Try to be really efficient with your pauses. Try not to pause too much, especially on GameCube because it lags when you pause. Okay, so here you want to flick up again, backflip, when you get a green rupee, side hop to the left, and then you backflip again, you'll get a blue rupee and another green rupee. So you should have 20 rupees here, and then side hop to the right, backflip, and then here you want to sort of turn around, roll, and I face towards this sort of rock area, and then flick back, target, and then hold backwards. And then as soon as I see the rock here, let go of target, hold backwards, and you'll go up the ledge. And then here, the vines, you'll want to turn around and walk backwards as soon as you can, and then side hop to the right. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, turning around and back walking is only viable like for longer distances, like because Link has to turn around. If you keep back walking everywhere, it'll eventually get slower, but only do it when you need to. So yeah, just to like follow where I am going in the Lost Woods right now until you get to this area. Now this is like the first trick I'd say in the game. We're basically going to escape the forest without beating the Deku tree. So we don't buy the shield yet, but you should have roughly 20 rupees. And this is I think it's a frame perfect trick, but don't let that daunt you because it's actually a relatively simple trick. There's 2 methods of doing this, which is actually really good to bear in mind. The first method is you can actually wait for Navi, and you can do this. You jump. What I'll show you now. What you can do is you can say if I jump right now, Link isn't going to grab the ledge, but if I jump and then hold up left on the control stick here, Link will grab the ledge at a really weird angle. And then you can sort of line up. You need to be sort of right on the edge here. But if you see Navi wants to talk to me now on C up. If you wait long enough, Navi will eventually want to talk to you. And if you mash B and C up, on this case it's the control stick up on the GameCube controller. If you mash B and C up and talk to Navi, you'll actually sync during the text, and then from there you can actually swim. When you cancel this text box, you can swim straight into the loading zone. Because you can swim into the loading zone there, but because I'm going to show you the other method, I'm not going to do that. This is the faster method. You target this wall, line up with it, and then you see here, like I'm walking sideways, Link hits a bump there. You want to what I do is I sort of get along with this wall and roll until Link no longer moves to the left. So now I'm dead in the corner, I'm dead where I need to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to backflip, and then what you want to do is this thing called a dry roll. It's a roll. You see, it says attack there. If you keep targeted, what you'll do is, and you don't touch the control stick, you'll do a dry roll. You'll do this. So you see Link slightly rolled to the right there. I didn't touch the control stick, but he still rolled to the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that again. Instead of just dry rolling, you're going to roll. You're going to dry roll and then untarget during the dry roll. So like that. So Link should be facing forwards and you should have a retargeted camera angle. Now what you want to do is side hop to the right, and then you want to do another dry roll and an untarget, like that. And then you side hop to the left. You do another dry roll, but you don't untarget this time, so you keep targeted. And then what you want to do is slash your sword, backflip. Now basically you're in the perfect position to jump slash and to side hop and jump slash into the corner of this stone slab on the right. It's frame perfect. You need to sort of time it. Like, I guess you can pause buffer it, but I don't do it. I just time it. So like, there. That, you need to do that, and you'll clip in. And from here, you can swim forwards, and you'll hit the loading zone, so you can escape the forest like that. I'll show you it in real time. That's it in real time. You can, like, if you jump slash too early, like, this, that's too early. And then, like, for example, hang on, like, that's too late, for example. You need to sort of, it's because of the game's frame rate, it's actually not too difficult of a trick. It makes it slightly easier. But yeah, so it's basically line up with this wall. You make sure you're targeting this wall. So like, usually when you go up to a wall and target it, it will line the camera up straight up. You see the grass seam below Link's feet? It's sort of parallel to the bottom of the screen, which is good. That's what you want. So yeah, you sort of get in this corner again, like I said, dry roll until, he's sort of in this corner. So it's backflip, dry roll, untarget and retarget. Side hop to the right, another dry roll, untarget, retarget. Side hop to the left, another dry roll but keep targeted. Slash the sword with B, backflip, and then you time the jump. So that's that. And then if you fail this, like if you go too early or late, then you can do the Navi dive as a method. I usually reset if I fail because my PB is like relatively good. And I always get good escapes usually, but yeah, so that's forest escape. And then you just sort of want to follow where I go. I messed that up there. You just want to follow the river basically. Collect rupees. Sort of swim the same way I do. It's not too precise, but you should collect rupees. You can sort of swerve out there, make the Octorok shoot, and then, oh yeah, don't mash, you can mash B to swim faster, but don't mash B when you fall over the waterfall, otherwise you'll do a jump slash, and then that's slow. See, I'm collecting rupees here. By the time I reach the bottom of this, of Zora's River, I'm gonna need 40 rupees. So like, I have 40 rupees now, so that's good. What I do here is, you sort of have to be quick here because you need to reach Kakariko before night. So you like line up here and walk backwards. Yeah, and you just hold back. You can hold back until the owl speaks to you, Keopora or whatever his name is. But as soon as he speaks to you, what I do is press B 4 times. So B, 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 and then flick down and press A. And then his text box is here, and you can't really do much about that. But you can do a Hess or a Wes, which is like, you can literally slide past that guy's text box, but I don't do it because I'm not very good at it. And you don't have to do it, which is why I'm not going to include it in this video. Okay, so we're in Kakariko now. The reason for escaping the forest, which is I forgot to mention, is, oh yeah, basically just collect Cuccos like I do. Yeah, this is the route for the Cuccos. It's the fastest way to collect the Cuccos. But I'm going to explain other things while I'm doing Cuccos. Basically, the reason for escaping the forest is because we need to go to Kakariko to get a bottle. Oh damn it. We need to go to Kakariko to get a bottle, because we'll need the bottle later for a glitch called Ocarina Items, which allows you to play like a fake ocarina without actually having an ocarina. So it's very useful in a speedrun because you don't actually have to go and get the ocarina. But yeah. Just rounding up all the Cuccos. And again, it doesn't, like, this, the Cuccos spawn in the same places, but their movement is, dependent on the game's internal random number generator. So their movement is random. So effectively, to get a good time, towards the end of the bottle split, you'll need good RNG. RNG is basically like an acronym for random number generator, which is quite often used in speedrunning, in the speedrunning community. Quite a lot of games also depend on RNG as well, so... Oh god, I missed that. You can actually walk across that and jump and grab the ladder, like, 3/4 of the way up, which is really... It saves quite a bit of time, but... Yeah. Also, you want to get to Kakariko before night, otherwise the Cuccos won't be here, and you'll have to go out to Hyrule Field, and wait for day, which is really slow, and it's most likely a reset. It depends how fussy you are. It depends how good your time is, you know. But yeah, that's why you want to do the first part relatively fast. Yeah. So if you collect all the Cuccos, you speak to her, and she'll give you the bottle. You don't need to equip the bottle in any specific place. I always equip the bottle on C down, but as soon as she's given you the bottle, you want to do this. You want to pick the rock up, throw it and pause it, equip the bottle on whatever button you desire. I'm going to do C down. And then when you unpause it, mash the button you have the bottle equipped on, and then you'll pick the bugs up that were under the rock, and then you can skip this text box, and then you can instantly save. This is the way the GameCube version saves. As soon as you hear the save noise, you can immediately reset your console. The reason why we're saving and resetting is because it's basically called save warping, where you'll save and reset to get back to, for example, whenever you save, if you're outside a dungeon in Ocarina of Time and you save and you're a child, you'll always spawn in the Kakariko forest. Unless you're in a dungeon, where you'll spawn in the dungeon. If you're an adult, you'll spawn in the Temple of Time, and etc., etc. So yeah, we're just doing that to get. You can walk back to the forest, but it's just faster to save warp, even with the really slow GameCube saving. Okay, so here. Okay, that's bad. So here's what we're going to do now is backflip. And back walk, and we're just going to go to because we've got enough rupees to buy the shield, so because we're back in the forest, we're going to go buy the shield like normal. The only difference is now we have the bottle and bugs, which is what we need for later, so it's sort of escaping the forest first thing is more efficient than going getting the shield, collecting rupees, and then escaping the forest, because you collect rupees while you're going down the river, so it makes sense. You can't, yeah, I did it there. You can actually side hop across there, and then while you're in the middle of the side hop, you can like pause it and equip your Deku Shield. It doesn't really matter. All the movement is like stuff you generally get the hang of. The only things I'm going to really explain in depth are the tricks. Other tricks that are going to come up. However, the Deku Tree route is very important, actually. There's loads of different ways that I do it. Oh god. In a run, I usually get, you want at least one Deku Stick here. If you're grinding for a personal best, then getting one Deku Stick, you can do it with one Deku Stick, but I'm gonna get 3, just for backup, just in case I fail anything. You can actually do a cutscene. Yeah. I did it there. I didn't do it there, actually. You can jump slash into that cutscene, and then because the game needs Link to be at a certain place when the cutscene starts, it'll like launch him towards the cutscene, and you can sometimes get flown really far down towards the Deku Tree, which saves time because you need to enter the Deku Tree in a minute. So yeah, we've got the bottle, the sword and the shield. Yeah, and now we're entering the Deku Tree like normal. Obviously the only different thing being the bottle and the bugs. So yeah, we don't need rupees at the moment. However, the thing that you can't do... I guess I should... Yeah, so, yeah, you don't need to worry about anything at the moment. Just, oh no. I accidentally pressed bugs. That doesn't matter, I didn't mess anything up. I just need to pick them back up. Oh, that was dumb. Okay, so, forget that. Yeah, so the Deku tree, the routing for this is important. I'm gonna quickly explain things. In a minute I'm gonna go and get some Deku nuts from this Deku Baba on the right. Oh yeah, you don't need to equip the Deku sticks yet because you'll do the equips. It's like synchronized equips. It's actually, when you pause, is every single pause, you'll know when to pause. Like, every pause is, you may be thinking, oh, well, why haven't you equipped the Deku sticks or Deku nuts or whatever, but every pause that you do is, like, efficient. So you want to pause the least amount of times as possible. What I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to, like I said earlier, I only needed one Deku stick, but I picked up 3 just in case. You can kill this Deku Baba on the right and pick up 5 Deku nuts, because he drops 5 Deku nuts every time. You can do it with 5 Deku nuts, but for safety, I'm going to pick up some more later, just in case I fail a trick or something. Because if you waste a Deku nut, then it wastes so much time, because you have to go and collect more. Especially if you do it during Gohma, which is one of the really important parts of the run. Okay, so I'm gonna pull my sword out and jump slash at the same time. I think it's frame perfect, but yeah. Okay, so here's when I'm running towards this web. I do the equips. It doesn't matter when exactly, but basically these vines here, Navi, if you approach the vines, if you get close enough, Navi will talk to you and she'll basically tell you how to climb vines. You can skip the text box by pulling out a Deku stick or your sword at the right time. For example, oh, I didn't do it there. That kind of sucks. But you can actually skip the text box completely. If you actually manage to skip the text box on those vines, you have to be careful here because there's more. There's another text box. You've got to stay away from the text box on this side. But what I do here is walk backwards, backflip onto the chest, jump and grab the vines, and now once you get over to this like polygonal part, target, and you want to hold target. Okay, so these guys move randomly. This is also RNG dependent. When their mouths face you, that's when you can't really move. So you're holding target now. Now what you want to do is get to about here. When Link passes over this bump, you'll want to press A to let go, but hold target. And now what you want to do is backflip and pull your sword out. And then slide up to the right. Now what you want to do is jump slash. So you'll press A. If you've done everything correctly, you should break the web. But don't just like jump slash now, but mash B when you're falling down until you hit the water. So mashing B there. Oh, I accidentally dive. Oh well. Okay. So mashing B there broke the web fast, and also sets a really weird trick up for later. I'm going to show the Gohma clip method. However, I will explain different methods of how to do this during the run. So basically, what I'm going to do now is, usually you'd have to go upstairs and get the slingshot and then do all this, press that switch over there. But right now, you can, similar to what we did in the forest escape, is line up with this wall here. You can actually see slightly to the right of Link's head, there's like a seam, and that's also like the forest escape. You need to sort of go there and roll until Link doesn't move. So you line up with the wall on the left. So when you're here, in this, lined up with the wall on the left, but also in the corner, right on the edge, by the seam, you're gonna backflip again, side hop to the right, and side hop to the left. Now, basically, you're stood in the perfect position for B1 skip. You can, if you jump too far to the right, you won't jump at all, and you won't grab the ledge. If you jump far to the left, you'll jump but won't grab the ledge. And there's actually a pixel or something. You can grab the ledge here. So what I do for a visual cue is, you see my B button. It's sort of in line with the texture on the ceiling above the ledge. I do roughly here. If I line it up about here, this usually gives me the perfect. It can be rough. I think you can do it like that or like that. I usually wait until it's roughly here. This should work. So what you do is you'll line up like I did earlier with the sword visual cue. You'll do one dry roll. Because you've moved the camera, Link will dry roll forwards instead of to the side. But you'll dry roll once. And then now what you need to do is you need to dry roll again, but as soon as you dry roll, you're going to hold forwards. Bearing in mind you need to keep targeted, otherwise this won't work. So you're going to dry roll again and hold forwards immediately after you dry roll. And you should grab the ledge. You're not supposed to get up there, but yeah. I should also explain ISG, which I'm going to do now. There is a very important trick called infinite sword glitch that's used in Ocarina of Time. Basically, you can... This is it. That's infinite sword glitch. You can cancel it by crouching with your shield or slashing your sword. Okay, so I've got it on my sword right now. I'm just going to explain a few things about ISG. ISG, you can see it makes the camera really weird. That's one feature of it. But ISG, it makes it so that your sword is infinitely swinging. Which it can actually be very useful in a speedrun. Hang on, I'm just going to have a quick drink. So, ISG is something you're going to need to know. The way you do it is you basically... So you can crouch. If you hold shield, which is R on the GameCube controller, and then press B, you can do a crouch stab. Like if you're holding your shield. If you... during your crouch stab, you can target. So it's sort of BL. But during the stab, the crouch stab, what you need to do is crouch stab, press L and then press C up to talk to Navi, because when you target, Navi, she gives you information on the enemy. To get ISG, you need to interrupt your crouch stab and call Navi, and then you'll get infinite sword glitch. So like, I failed it there, but there. It's hard to get the hang of, but eventually you'll get the timing down and you'll get it consistently. Another thing about ISG is the damage. Okay, so you notice my sword there. My sword there is swinging infinitely. I could walk into the Deku Baba and it'll kill him. Okay, so now I'm doing a standard B slash with the sword. Okay, so that does a certain amount of damage. I don't know how much it does exactly, but say that does 4 damage, okay? And then you go and do ISG. The ISG, the amount of damage that the ISG has can vary. The ISG actually does the amount of damage that your last attack does. So, for example, the ISG now has the damage of 4 that this has. Whereas, you can actually... The Deku Stick, for example. I can... Hang on. See, now my sword... You can see it's actually slightly longer because of the Deku Stick. But you can see that... My ISG basically, say the Deku Stick, jumpslash is the most, the thing that does the most damage as Child Link. It's actually extremely useful when it comes to speedrunning, because, with ISG, particularly in Gohma, you'll want the ISG to do as much damage as you can. So in this case, if I wanted to, for example, kill this Deku Baba, and I just do a standard slash like that, and then get ISG. See there? See, it took 2 hits there. See, because it only did the damage of this. But if I do a jump slash and then get ISG, hang on. Oh, I did take 2 hits. Okay. Anyway, never mind. But basically, yeah. So ISG, you basically, before you use ISG, you can. Oh yeah, by the way, you can, when you get ISG, you can do it with a Deku stick as well. You don't need to do it with your sword. So like, you can crouch stab with a Deku stick and get ISG, which is pretty good to know. You'll need to do a Deku stick ISG and a Kakariko sword ISG on Ganondorf later, if you want any chance of killing him fast. Okay, so that's that over and done with. I hope that explanation was sort of understandable. But the reason why we mashed B earlier is because when you come into this room first, for whatever reason, this web doesn't load properly. So what I can do now is don't walk onto the web, because the web will load and it will mess everything up, and you'll have to, you'll have to burn the web, which is slow. Which, by the way, you can do by, I think you can jump and then... Did I get flame storage there? No, I didn't. Never mind. But yeah, you can jump and then hit your Deku stick on that, and it should work. But yeah, so if you side hop over the web, you should clip through. But what I do is when I've done the B1 skip, which is this, I'll show you it again actually. I'll try and do it fast. Okay, so my visual cue about there. There we go. And then what I do is I just I flick back, and I back walk, and then you should drop like that, and then you just press A and then press B, and you'll launch, and you'll land on here. Okay, so I've clipped through the web. The web didn't load, which is good. And now what I need to do is the Deku Scrubs. There is a really fast way of doing this. You should memorize the order, which is 2, 3, 1. So I'm going to do it like this. So that's Deku Scrubs. You can sort of move through the room in the same way I did, and then they'll shoot at the same time, which is really useful. Okay, so we're about to go and kill Queen Gohma. Queen Gohma is extremely difficult because Gohma clip, which is what I'm going to do next, is I think it's probably the hardest trick in the game out of what I do. The Goddess is harder, but I'm not going to do that in this tutorial. Basically, what you need to do is go in. What I'll do is I'll do a Deku stick jump slash to set the value for my ISG, like we said earlier, because the value of the ISG is the damage that your last attack was. So we want the damage to be as high as possible, so we're going to do that. So what we're going to do is going to go in and do a Deku stick jump slash into the cutscene, which is on the top of this bump thing. And then as soon as that cutscene ends, we're going to see up with the camera and look up, and then Gohma will spot us, and it will trigger the start of the fight. And then the fight will basically be, well, I guess I'll show you what to do first anyway. So the cutscene trigger is there, so you'll want to jump slash into that with a Deku stick. And then the cutscene ends. Okay, so yeah, you go into the camera and you'll look up, and then Gohma will trigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... You don't have the slingshot, so killing Gohma is actually insanely difficult without the slingshot if you miss the first cycle. I'm going to show you Gohma clip, and I'm also going to show you backup methods. So what I'm going to show you is double KO and Gohma clip. First of all, I'm going to do Gohma clip. Now what you'll want to do is basically what's going to happen is I'm going to throw a Deku Nut to stun Gohma as soon as the fight starts. And then I'm going to immediately after do a crouch stab with my sword, throw another Deku Nut, do another crouch stab, and then throw one more Deku Nut. But one jump attack will finish her, but we don't want to finish her off yet. we'll want to basically Deku Nut, crouch stab, Deku Nut, crouch stab, Deku Nut, and then retreat. You'll need to turn around and get Infinite Sword Glitch, ISG, like we said earlier, bearing in mind that the value is still, the value doesn't matter because you only need ISG to clip through the door. And now, when you've thrown the third Deku Nut to stun Gohma, you need to move through the room and you need to sort of lure Gohma into a certain position, which can be kind of tricky, but if you move how I move, through the room after the third Deku Nut throw, then you should lure Gohma into the same sort of area, and the clip should work, because the jump is frame perfect. Fortunately, you can pause buffer the jump, but the backflip, sorry. But ISG is required for clipping through the door. So ISG is required for clipping through the door. Gohma's position is basically is almost as important as the timing for the actual jump, because the timing of the actual jump is frame perfect, otherwise it won't work. But Gohma's position can slightly be either way. It needs to be, it's pretty precise though, so that's what makes it difficult. So I'm gonna trigger the cutscene for Gohma. This fight's gonna start. Deku Nut, crouch stab, Deku Nut, crouch stab. Bearing in mind, when you do the first two crouch stabs, you'll want to crouch stab, and then as soon as you've done the crouch stab, mash the button for Deku Nuts, because if you throw a Deku Nut too late, Gohma will get up, won't be stunned, and she'll climb onto the ceiling, and you'll basically be ruined. You won't be fucked, because Gohma falls down, but it'll waste loads of time, and you don't want to do that. And Gohma Clip will be ruined. So Gohma Clip is pretty difficult. I'm going to show you it now in real time. Okay, so the Deku Nut, crouch stab, Deku Nut, crouch stab. If I can get ISG, okay, cool. Okay, so as Gohma starts to move, okay, line up with this wall, turn around, target. Okay, so Gohma is sort of I think she's in the right position now. You need to sort of move like I did. It's kind of hard to explain where to move. You just sort of need to go based on where I moved, and then you should hopefully be in the same position. But I fortunately managed to get the two crouch stabs and the perfect Deku Nut throws. I'm in the corner now. I need to be against the wall, the wall behind me and the wall to the left of me as much as possible. And now basically, so I've got ISG. Basically, I forgot to mention, when you're targeting and you bring up your shield, you don't need to, it doesn't cancel ISG, so that's something good to bear in mind. What I'll need to do is wait for Gohma to attack, and it's a frame perfect thing. I'll need to be holding back on the control stick, L and R, so Link will basically be walking backwards. The reason why you're holding back is you need to buffer in a backflip. So I'll sort of show you now, I guess. Hang on, that's my dog. Okay, bear with me. Okay, so basically, right, so what we're looking for is, I actually have an Imgur link. What I'll do is in the description of this video, I'll find the perfect frame for this. But there's one frame that you need. It's this frame actually. That was incredibly lucky. So Gohma's eye needs to be on sort of the widest point. There's two frames like this. The second frame, so you need to get it on the first frame, which is this frame. There's one frame after, and you will hear Gohma make a noise slightly. If she's made the noise, then the clip won't work. But what I should be able to do now is unpause. I'm still holding back L and R, but I'm also pressing A. So I'm going to buffer the backflip, and I should clip through. So I've clipped through. That was frame perfect. You need ISG to do that. Gohma still is alive, though. I need to kill Gohma, so it's not the end of everything. It's not the end of the trick yet. So what you need to do is wait until you hear Gohma walk. She'll make like a footstep. As soon as you hear that, throw a Deku Nut and then do a jump slash into the wall. Hopefully, the jump slash, if you're not confident it's going to reach, you can pull out a Deku Stick and it should do the damage. But you can basically throw a Deku Nut and then Gohma will get stunned through the wall, and then you can jump slash with the Deku Stick and it should kill Gohma. So like this. Okay, so that worked. There are methods. If you want to, I guess I should kind of explain what you can do if you don't clip through the wall. If you don't clip through the wall, keep trying, unless you lose ISG or take damage. And yeah, so basically, if you fail the clip, retreat from Gohma, throw a Deku Nut, and then do a jump slash, and you'll kill Gohma. So you haven't clipped through, but you've killed Gohma. And then what you want to do is... Oh no, actually... Okay, so Gohma does half a heart of damage. You'll need Gohma to... If you fail the clip, you'll need to get down to half a heart of damage. And then... I guess I could show you now, actually. So I've just clipped through the gate. You walk in, you walk back in. The reason why you clip through the door is because I've killed Gohma and now this stone slab is gone. But, okay, so now I'm going to show you what to do if you fail the clip, or if you don't want to do the clip. I've got backup saves, so I'm not worried about that profile. I'll just use a different profile. It's the same. I'll have exactly the same amount of stuff and equipment. Nothing of that's changed. Maybe my quantity of Deku Nuts and Deku Sticks are different, but that doesn't really matter. But so this is my Gohma practice profile. I'm just going to quickly get down to Gohma. So I'll show you what you need to do if you fail or if you don't want to do, because you don't have to do Gohma clip. It's faster to do Gohma clip, but it's still as fast if you do this method. Oh, actually, I need to get down to half a heart. So, yeah, I need to go back up and take damage by the Deku Baba. If you fail Gohma clip, you will need to go and burn the web again, because what it will do is it will load. Because if you... I'm going to take damage. Okay, so I've got half a heart now. So that's exactly what I need. You can take damage from Gohma, but it's kind of risky. So same concept as before. You'll want to... jump slash into the cutscene, so you've still got the value. What you're going to do is exactly the same as before, but you don't have to get ISG. So you'll Deku Nut, crouch stab, Deku Nut, crouch stab, but then you'll throw another Deku Nut and then jump slash. But you'll jump slash so close to Gohma that you kill Gohma and you die on the same frame. So you'll do this basically. Okay, so I've killed Gohma, and you notice Link screamed there. I'm actually going to die, so Gohma's going to die, and then Link's going to die. Dying is a good thing, because clipping through the gate with the Gohma clip method is fast, because you can be straight in this room immediately, which is what you need to do. This is fast, but the only thing that's bad about this method is that you game over, don't save, continue playing, and you'll be at the top of the tree. From which here, all you need to do is go back down to the Gohma room. The only slow thing about this is walking back through the tree again. If you can do it fast, it's really not even that much slower, to be honest. I do the Gohma clip method because I'm actually fine with doing it. I don't find it too difficult, but But yeah, so then you can go back in there. The reason why I need to load this other profile is because the cutscene value will be different. For practice, if you have a profile to practice wrong warp, you can't just load a file from the Deku tree. During runs, you don't have to do this because you will have just killed Gohma, and you don't even need to do this. But oh no, I don't want to load that one. If you load a profile, what you'll need to do is go into Link's house, pause and unpause to reset the cutscene value, because the title screen is effectively resetting the cutscene value, and then you can go and do the wrong warp. So I'm going to show you the rest of the tutorial on this profile. I'm going to show you the wrong warp. I have a separate video that I made for explaining the wrong warp. I'm going to put that in the description. I will sort of briefly touch over what you have to do and explain everything you need to do to make the wrong warp work. But yeah, this is probably, for me, is the most interesting glitch ever in a video game, and I still think it's amazing how it's possible. Okay, so get the right visual. This can be annoying, especially on GameCube with all the dead zone. Okay. The reason why I do the jump slash there is because you don't have to go in the water, because the going in the water slow, even though you take damage. Okay, so we're here. If you just did Gohma clip, exited, and then re-entered, you should be here right now. The only difference is how many hearts I've got and stuff like that. But yeah, so what you want to do now is you've got your bugs. Now's the time to use the bugs. Basically, so the wrong warp. I'm going to show you how to do Ocarina items, which is the main glitch you need to do. I explained earlier about it, where you what you want to do is you don't have to have it on any specific button, but I've got my bottle on C down. What you need to do is backflip, press the button you have the bottle equipped on, and then press something else. For example, I can backflip, press C down for my bugs, and then press C left for my Deku stick, like that, and I can play my Deku stick like an ocarina. I don't do it like that though. I do it with my sword. You can do it with your sword. You can do it with basically, I think you can do it with a Deku stick, a sword. You can do it with other things later on in the game, but at this point in time, you'll only have the Deku stick and the sword. It doesn't matter which one you do it with, but I do it with the sword. So what I'm going to do, so that's Ocarina items basically. So what you're going to do is, if you watch my wrong warp tutorial, that will help you more, because I explain that in depth, like really in depth how to do it. But you'll basically want to side hop left, dry roll, backflip, and then Ocarina items, and then you'll do a sequence of movements. What I'll do now is, I'm in the perfect position for the cutscene. What I'll do is I'll do Ocarina items into the edge of the cutscene, and then when the cutscene's continuing, I'll be holding right. As soon as the camera zooms and becomes normal, I will press B to cancel the ocarina, and because I'm already holding right, Link will step to the right. When he's stepped 2 times roughly, I will throw a Deku Nut. During the Deku Nut throw, I will target and hold left, so I'm strafing left, and I will, when Link's at full speed, I will side hop once, and then from there, when I pass over the bump, I'll do all the frame adjustments. You may think, what the hell are you going on about? But I'm just going to do it sort of now in real time, and I'll show you what I mean. So side hop once, I've passed over the bump, now I've got plenty of time. So target, turn around, side hop, and then you want to go to the corner of the door, enter, and this should work. And there we are, Ganon's castle. Okay, so like I said, for a more detailed explanation on the wrong warp, I have a separate video which I will link in the description. So yeah. Okay, so we've gone outside. The game has realised that we're in the tower, so we must have defeated Ganon's first phase. There's so many things wrong with what we've done, because we're supposed to be an adult. So, like, Link is really short right now. He's not on the camera. Hang on a sec, guys. Bear with me. Okay, so, as I was saying, so like, we're supposed to be an adult, but we're a child. There's so many things that can go wrong now, that you need to watch out for. There's a thing here you can do called the God Hess, where you can void warp, and you can get to the bottom of the tower collapse, and you can skip basically the whole tower collapse. I'm not gonna do that, so I'm gonna just do the tower collapse as normal. However, you will need to do infinite sword glitch at one point of the tower collapse. Okay, so the lag on GameCube is ridiculous here. Like, it's really laggy now. That's expected on GameCube. But yeah, so I'm just going to go down the tower collapse as normal. The only thing you need to do in the tower collapse that's hard is avoid the rocks. You can get hit by falling rocks, that doesn't matter. But whatever you do, do not go near rocks on the ground, because if you hit a rock on the ground, the game will either crash. On VC it crashes, on emulator it crashes. On GameCube it mostly crashes, but it can sometimes not crash, which is still bad because you need the shield to do ISG. So just avoid doing that, because the game crashes because the Deku shield and adult Zelda are never supposed to coexist, so the game can't cope with it, and when you burn the Deku shield, the game crashes. So burning shield is a definite no-no in Ocarina of Time. So like those rocks there, if I were to hit them, the game would crash. Okay, so what I'm going to do is in the next room, in the next inside room area, there's going to be Stalfos. There's going to be a cutscene I'm going to jump slash into. Link's going to sort of pan out, and then you have to kill Stalfos with ISG. So like here, oh no, that's not good. Jump slash into the cutscene, go towards Zelda, and now you need to ISG with the Deku stick to kill the Stalfos. And you need to sort of... Okay, I broke a Deku stick there, which is kind of good that I got spares, even though I'm on a different profile. You need to do this relatively fast as well. And Stalfos do a lot of damage to you, so you have to be very careful not to die. Okay, so that was actually quite a good fight there. So yeah. Okay, just avoiding these rocks. You don't need to pull your shield out when you go to those doors, you just need to wait for Zelda. I just do that because it's something to do. Oh yeah, so this room is clutch as hell because... Oh my god! I did it! I crashed the game. Okay, so what happened there is a rock fell, and because I had my shield out, the I can't believe that happened. Okay, that was hilarious. Because I had my shield out, the hitbox for the shield is like massive. So when the game crashes like that, you need to reset your Wii. So that was really bad. So that's basically an example of what not to do. Just don't do that, okay? But yeah, so that's what not to do. Don't pull your sword out because the Deku Shield hitbox is massive when you pull it out. And that's exactly why you shouldn't hit the burning rocks. It makes the game extremely difficult, because you have to avoid things like that. Otherwise you're screwed. Like, you're so screwed in a run if you do that. But that's like a challenge, basically. That's one of the massive challenges. B. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do the wrong warp and everything again. So yeah, so what else? I think the tower collapse alternatives. Okay, so while I'm going to the do the wrong warp again and get back to tower collapse is alternative routes for this game include mido skip, swordless. You can do mido skip and not. You can do mido skip with the sword, but it's really not that. It's not worth it because it's so difficult, and you know, getting the sword is slow anyway. So, and because mido skip is so hard, it's not viable when you get the sword, because when you skip the sword, you need to do mido skip. Otherwise, yeah, I was too close to the right there. Yeah, so when you do mido skip, it's extremely difficult, so you should only do it if you skip the sword. Swordless is slow now, though, because the new fastest version to beat the game is the Japanese Virtual Console with the new route. Obviously, this is the old route, but this is the route I do. If you want a solid 23, 22 minute time, this route is with this route that's easily possible. If you want like a sub 22, then you'll want to learn new stuff, because this route probably won't allow that. Okay, is this bad? I think it might be bad. It might work. Yeah, it did. Cool. Yeah, that trick is... You need to be able to think really quickly. You need to know the adjustments. It's kind of annoying, that trick. It's fine when you get the hang of it, though. It took me a while to get it. But it is fine eventually. Okay, so we're at the tower collapse again. It didn't waste too much time. Obviously in a run that would just be dead. Like... but yeah. So tower collapse, like I said again, is, if you're doing this route, is relatively easy, apart from the Stalfos fight, which is the ISGs. The only thing remaining, apart from the Stalfos, and the boulders on the floor, is Ganondorf. The final Ganondorf fight is basically 2 ISGs. One of them is with a Deku stick, and one of them is with a sword. You can pick up... The funny thing is about this game, to kill Ganon at the end, you need the Master Sword. We never pick the Master Sword up in this run, apart from the fact that during the final Ganon cutscene, the Master Sword is dropped, because Ganon knocks it away in the cutscene. So you can pick it up, even though you never had it. So you can kill Ganon with something that you need, that you never picked up. And it's so convenient that it's there. So that's kind of a pretty funny thing about this game. Oh yeah, like I said, the falling boulders don't matter. You can get hit by them, but it's just the boulders on the floor you can't touch. I know it sounds I know it's dumb that I died and crashed the game in my tutorial, but I guess I should leave it in there really, because it shows you what not to do and what to avoid. It's sort of, if I'm on a really good, like, I haven't run this game seriously for a few months. Like, I grinded Ocarina of Time out in September and August 2014, and my goal was like a low 25, and I got my goal. But when I was doing attempts, the scariest thing for me was trying not to like hit the boulders during the tower collapse, which is extremely difficult. And again, there's a boulder on the floor there, so you've got to really watch out for that. Also, picking hearts up that Zelda drops is kind of pointless because when Ganon hits you, if Ganon hits you, by the way, he kills you instantly. So just don't get hit by Ganon. The ISGs, like I said, you have to do against Ganon. If you fail any of the ISGs, then you kind of have to run like really. You have to run really far away, otherwise he'll hit you. If you know his like attack patterns, though, it's relatively easy to get around them. So yeah. Oh my god. Okay. So I'm taking it really careful here. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of clutch. Yeah, so, yeah, the only sort of thing you need to be careful of from now on is the ISGs. Obviously, the boulders in this last room are quite trolly sometimes. Oh god. Oh yeah, you can also... Oh, I didn't do it, but if you get right in the middle of that gate and pull a Deku stick or your sword out, when Zelda gets to the gate and opens it, she can actually do this thing called the kiss, where she like locks you between the gate and her, and you can clip into the loading zone as soon as the cutscene ends. It saves a small amount of time, not too much. It doesn't matter if you fail it, to be honest. Okay, so the tower collapse. We're at the end of the game now. All we need to do, all that's left, is a couple of ISGs. A couple of ISGs may be like the simplest things to do, but because it's a frame perfect, or a very small frame window trick, you can sort of have a really good PB pace run up to here, and you can lose it all if you fail an ISG. So it's sort of scary to think, if I fail this, well, I'm screwed kind of thing, like I'm not going to PB. So say like you're 10 seconds ahead at this point of your PB, and then you mess up an ISG. Like, you don't want to mess up an ISG, basically. If you want a good Ganon fight, you don't want to miss an ISG. Like, my PB was nearly perfect everything. Oh yeah, funny thing here as well is because it's supposed to be an adult Link. Young Link isn't actually on the camera. He sort of gets a boost there, though. And now he's floating, which is pretty hilarious. But now what you want to do is roll about 4 times and then jump slash. The cutscene is roughly where that adjoining pattern is. You want to jump slash into that cutscene to set your ISG value. If you miss that jump slash, or if you don't do the jump slash for whatever reason, like if you go too far after the rolls, then you'll want to avoid trying to get the first ISG, because you can get the ISG, you just won't have the damage value set though, so it won't work. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, you never pick the Master Sword up, but in this cutscene Ganon knocks it away, so you can pick it up later and get it. But because we don't have the Master Sword at the moment, what we'll need to do is do the first ISG with a Deku stick. So there's the Master Sword, and we can get that later. So as soon as Ganon finishes this movement, as soon as you gain control of Link, do an ISG and go under him, and you need to hit his tail. Okay, I missed it there. I missed the first ISG, but we can still get it again. It's not the end of the world. Okay, that's not good. Okay, there we go, finally. Okay, so... Okay, I'm gonna sort of evade this now. I need to... Oh my god. I suck at this. Okay. Okay, I got ISG. I'm gonna wait for him to come round again and then go under his legs. Come on, Ganon. Okay, there we go. First phase done. And now when Zelda yeah, Zelda sort of speaks to you, turn around, grab the Master Sword. You can back walk to it if you're far enough away. Now what you want to do, you've got the Master Sword now. Because young Link's never supposed to have the Master Sword, you won't actually have it, but it does the damage of the Master Sword. So what you want to do is jump slash there. You need to ISG now with the Master Sword. Okay, I keep failing this. I'm bad. Oh my god. Okay. So if you miss the ISG, just like roll underneath Ganon or something, and then just to be safe. Okay, so and now you want to do, you stand in front of him to get him to swing, then when he swings, go behind him. You want to pivot 180 degrees to make sure that the Deku stick actually hits, and then you do it 4 times with the last ISG. Hit his tail 4 times, and then you're basically guaranteed to beat the game. And Zelda will do that. You'll have the Sacred Deku Stick, providing you did do the final ISG with the Deku Stick. And then all you need to do is, because you need the Master Sword to defeat Ganon, all you need to do is just hit him with B, and then you've beaten the game. And that's Ocarina of Time. I hope... I do notice that I do rant quite a bit about different things. I hope I stayed on topic. I hope this tutorial helped you guys beat the game, basically. I hope it helped you get an understanding and sort of know roughly what to do. Obviously all the tricks I will have made separate videos for example, wrong warp. I've made a video for that. I may make a separate video for Gohma clip. If you guys want me to make a separate video for Gohma clip, then I will do so. I showed you both methods of killing Gohma. You can just kill Gohma normally and then save and quit, but because you save and quit, the title screen appears, so you'll need to go back to Link's house, pause it, and then go and do the wrong warp again after killing Gohma, which is slow. But I showed you the 2 fastest methods of killing Gohma, the fastest and the slightly slower but fast version. I showed you both versions of the Forest Escape. And yeah, I hope that helped you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, or follow me on Twitter. I usually check my Twitter a lot more than my YouTube, so asking me on Twitter is a good idea. If you want me to do any other tutorials or or do an updated tutorial for a trick in this route, then please let me know, and I will do so. Eventually anyway. But yeah, I thought I'd sort of make an Ocarina of Time tutorial, because I ran this game for a while, about a year ago, and I haven't really made any proper tutorials for like speed games. I made a link to the past tutorial if you guys want to watch that. But yeah, so that's my Ocarina of Time tutorial, guys. I hope it helped. Thanks for watching. Please, rate, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Follow on Twitter, Twitch TV as well, where I do live speedruns. I'll also, if I remember, I'll also link my personal best video in the description of this video. But yeah, that's Ocarina of Time. Thanks for watching.